Families and advocates of Black students say they are tired of feeling invisible and being dismissed. Behind me on the steps of the Department of Education, their message to mayoral candidates in this election is clear. Equity in education cannot be an afterthought. City officials are asking e-bike users to slow it down, while some New Yorkers say it's still not enough. Others believe it's still the safest way in the city for them to travel, as long as they remember to look both ways. In the city that never stops moving, this is an example of what endurance looks like. Side by side, step by step, stride by stride, all the way across the finish line. In a city that's known for its nightlife and cuisine, New Yorkers are turning to affordable cafes and bars for more than just eating and drinking. They've become third places dedicated to building community and connection. And so right now, of course, there's been a lot of policy attacking transgender rights. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you've seen this affecting your patients in particular?
Oh God, yeah. I've had 2 patients die by suicide within the first 4 weeks of that announcement that they were going to prevent those 19 years and younger from having access to gender affirming care.
Gibran Caroline Boyce has more.
It's one of the most famous races in the world, the New York City Marathon, 26.2 miles through all 5 boroughs. This is the second time Andrew Zhang is running it. He lost his eyesight when he was 6 after a failed surgery.
For me, it's kind of weird because I had the experience of playing outside in the yard when I was a kid and sighted, but then once I went blind, my parents and a lot of other people were just like, don't go outside, don't do anything that's going to hurt you.
Determined to challenge himself, Zhang started training.
It's weird how perspective shifts from this was impossible to now, this is something I could totally do.
For the race, Zhang will have Melanie Klikotka by his side, guiding him every step of the way. They met 3 years ago through Achilles International, an organization that pairs athletes with disabilities with running guides to be their eyes on crowded courses.
About a month or so ago, Andrew asked me if I would be interested in guiding him. And right away, my parents were like, think about it, because I would be giving up my race entry and running with him and running under his name. And I think I took it maybe an hour to think about, and I said, I'm doing it. It's the greatest honor.
Achilles International has about 500 athletes taking part in this year's New York City Marathon. Francesco Maggiasano has run so many races with the organization, he's lost count. But he says it's as many as 25 marathons since 2017.
Doing hard things and challenging ourselves, especially, within like me as someone with a disability, being able to tangibly overcome those challenges, it does wonders because now all the other things you view, whether athletically or professionally or socially, that you view as unsurmountable, now all of a sudden become surmountable.
Brittany, you did it! When you run a race for yourself, it's one thing, but when you run a race with and for someone else, it takes, it's so much bigger and takes on a whole new meaning.
In the city that never stops moving, this is an example of what endurance looks like. Side by side, step by step, stride by stride, all the way across the finish line. In Central Park, Gibran Caroline Boyce, New York 1. Her life changed forever in 2022. Pam Manesse still walks with a limp, and she's still coping with the physical damage done when she was hit by someone on an e-scooter in Manhattan.
When I first was hit, I could not open my hand, so I spent a month just working on opening my hand.
Manesse was walking at the intersection of Broadway and Columbus near Lincoln Center when it happened. She says a man on an e-scooter crashed into her, throwing her into the air. It caused a traumatic brain injury that left her partially paralyzed. She was hospitalized for months.
Playing and performing, living and breathing the cello, it was a huge part of my life. It was an extension of myself.
That's Manesse in 2024. She was a professional cellist, but playing is no longer an option.
He was not ticketed, not summoned. His moped was confiscated, but that was it. Because what can you do? He doesn't have insurance, he doesn't have a license, and he's not accountable.
Mayor Adams and his administration recently imposed a new law which sets the speed limit for e-bikes and e-scooters at 15 miles per hour. The objective? Improving safety.
The speed limits will help a little bit, but they will not solve the problem.
After what happened to her, Manesse co-founded New York City E-Vehicle Safety Alliance, an organization made of advocates and victims, pushing for laws beyond reducing the speed limit, requiring riders to register e-vehicles and have a visible identification number.
We are asking for legislation that will make people accountable for egregious riding behavior.
City officials are asking e-bike users to slow it down, while some New Yorkers say it's still not enough. Others believe it's still the safest way in the city for them to travel, as long as they remember to look both ways.
Too many people get hurt in accidents because you don't hear the e-bikes coming. At least with a car, you can hear a car.
I was hit and I had my teeth knocked out. I mean, it's because I didn't look. As long as you look and you pay attention, you'll never get hurt. It's the safest way to travel the city.
According to data from New York City Crash Mapper, pedestrian injuries and fatalities from e-bikes are showing a decrease this year so far when compared to last year. There's no telling if the law reducing speed imposed by the city will move the needle further, but it's something many hope for, including Manesse, whose life was forever changed. On the Upper West Side, Gibran Caroline Boyce, New York City News Service.